This is part 2 of the specific immunity series, and we're going to look at infected self cells, cancer cells, and we're going to specifically look at cytotoxic T cells and their activity. So we're starting with the diagram that we left off with from our specific immunity part 1, and what I'm going to do is try to slide this over a little bit, so just to give me a little more room. Okay, and again, what we're looking at are infected self cells, or cancer cells. Okay, and these cells are going to have, these cells are going to have a different MHC complex, as we learned in class. And so when we look at these infected self cells, we'll do them in gray. We'll call them infected self cell. All right, number 1. Infected self cell. They're going to do something very similar. They're going to display that antigen out on their membrane, except this is going to be an MHC1 complex, and it's going to be the cytotoxic T cell then that recognizes the MHC1 complex. So this is an infected self cell. We have our cytotoxic T cell, and once again, we're going to have the process of co-stimulation take place, because we really need to make sure before we turn this cytotoxic T cell loose that really, indeed, we should have this process going on, because wait until you see the destruction that potentially happens here. Okay, so this cytotoxic T cell then has to locate another infected self cell and again recognize the antigen. Now, this is kind of interesting here, because what's going to happen at this point is that when the co-stimulation occurs right here, this interleukin that is being secreted by the helper T cell is going to activate the cloning process of the cytotoxic T cell. Okay, so what we're going to have happen here then is a whole bunch of cytotoxic T cells are made. There. And don't forget the old memory T cells. These are going to be TCM, okay? Memory cytotoxic T cells. And so now all of these cytotoxic T cells are activated, which means what they're going to do is they're going to be able then to find additional infected self cells that are displaying that antigen. Right, and what happens when a cytotoxic T cell then comes down and identifies an activated cytotoxic T cell, hooks up with an infected self cell, it is going to kill the cell. Again, they still have to recognize that one specific type of antigen, and they will kill the cell. So that's the end of part 2, and we'll take it from here.